Hey everybody, Ben here from the Bonehead podcast, and welcome to Blood Bowl 7's Snotlings. So we're going through all the teams that are available in Blood Bowl 2020, whether it's from the rulebook, from a PDF, from Teams of Legend, or the NAF expanded teams. And we're looking at some of the rosters you can run for Blood Bowl 7s. Blood Bowl 7s is a quick play variant of Blood Bowl, played on a smaller pitch with smaller teams and smaller player selection. Basically 45 minutes a game. If you want to know more about Blood Bowl 7s, have a look at our intro to Blood Bowl 7s video. And maybe check out 7 Super Series. We've got 2 seasons, full seasons of 7s games with a bunch of different and wacky teams. That was all with the 2016 rule set. Obviously, we've now transitioned to Blood Bowl 2020. We haven't managed to film any yet, but we will be doing so as soon as we can. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at some of the rosters you can run in 7s if you want to just go for it and take Snotlings. But first, let's have a look at some strengths and weaknesses of Snotling teams. Bless them. There's a lot of weaknesses. First of all, their strengths, though. They do have a couple of real key things. So the fact that almost all of them are stunty and titchy means that they are 2+ forever dodging everywhere. And they've got dodge. And they've got sidestep, which means if you don't kill a Snotling, if you don't roll the all-important POW, they're just going to dance around you. That dancing gives you free movement. Plus the 2+ with a reroll anywhere forever, unless you're trying to dodge past a Croxigor, means that although they're movement 5, they can basically just go in a straight line through almost any amount of tackle zones. Snotlings are completely underrated in Blood Bowl. I've run a team of all Snotlings many times, and they are fantastic. They are really deceptively good. Some of the players don't have Titchy, so the Stilties and the Funhoppers don't have Titchy, but they've still got Stunty. So those better positionals are still 3++ everywhere, which is brilliant. And the other strength that I think is going to be absolutely massive in Blood Bowl 7s is the fact that they have swarming. So that allows you to have, what, D3 extra players when you set up. Okay, so you are going to end up on a Snotling team for 7s with probably 9 or 10 players every single drive. They've got some good players on this team, and then they get to back them up with just a ton of players. There is a very reasonable chance you'll be able to spread your team so thick your opponent is just going to struggle to wade through all your strength 1 weedy people. Weaknesses here, there are quite a few. Let's go with this. So they're stunty and they're armor 6+. So they will pop if they get caught. The good thing about Snotlings is they can take riotous rookies, so you get even more players. So you're going to end up with 15, 16 players on this team. And as you can kind of only deploy 7, plus a few extra swarming, you should end up with players for the entire game, which is amazing. But they will pop. And no skills. There's no ball handling skills here whatsoever. But everybody is basically agility 3+, with the exception of the troll and the pump wagon. So that means that your ball handling is going to be on 3+. You're going to have no sure hands, no block, stuff like that. So it's going to be a bit of a risky game. Positional limit really hurts Snotlings as well. In 7s, you can only take 4 positionals. That is 4 players that aren't linemen. So when you've got a roster with a bunch of cool stunty dudes and your big guys, it means you have a very limited selection of what you can run. Which means most of the work is going to be done by the line Snotling. Just as well, you get a bunch of free ones. So let's get started. Right, 2 troll, 2 stunty. No, 2 stilty. 2 troll, 2 stunty. I'd watch that film. Right, 595. This roster comes in with 2 trolls, 2 stilty runners, 7 Snotlings. Okay, so that's 9 players already. You can still have 1 reroll. I know, it's very generous. And riotous rookies, which is 2d3 plus 1 extra players. So let's average that out to 4 extra players. That means you are running 4, 8, 15 players on a 7s team. So that means you're going to have 7 to, I don't know, 13 extra players that you can bring on with swarming across the game. And you're going to be running that with 2 trolls. And those trolls are going to be great in 7s because you've got spare players. So trolls in 7s, if you've got them backed up with some swarming Snotlings, Really stupid becomes Bonehead, and ogres are great in 7s. Alright, ogres have got better movement and better agility, but quite frankly the trolls are still going to do a great job, and because you're going to have so many players, you're going to be able to funnel your opponent's offense basically more towards those trolls. And because you've got 4 squares of movement on an 11s pitch, you just bang them right kind of opposite each other on the just on the edges of your line of scrimmage. Your opponent cannot get past your trolls without your troll having a 2+ chance to blitz them, and blitzing with a troll is going to be great. These are trained trolls as well, so the loner is 3+, so that one reroll, if you want to take it on the troll, you've got an opportunity to do it. And the great thing about having almost unlimited Snotlings is you can just throw them every single turn. So there's 6 turns a half, so that's 12. You're going to have more Snotlings basically on this roster than you can throw in an entire game. And you've got defensive bombarding of players, okay? They've got the ball, you chuck a Snotling at them. It's going to knock some dudes over, or you're going to end up with one of those little pesky sidestep dodge guys with 2+ titchy dodge everywhere in their backfield. And once you get 1 or 2 Snotlings in the backfield, and they're marching towards the rest of your team, which contains 2 trolls and a bunch more tiny little dodgy guys, they're going to get gummed up on the ground. Their team's going to get swarmed, hence swarming. And on offense, you've got the Stilty Runners. Now, I love these Stilty Runners. They're 20k a piece. Dodge, right stuff, sidestep, sprint, and stunty, and they're movement 6. So these guys with sprint are movement 9. So on offense, and they're right stuff, so you can still throw them. So on offense, you only need to walk up 4 squares, and these guys are within scoring distance. You're going to have to take a couple of 3+ dodge rolls, but they've got dodge anyway. This is a remarkably effective scoring strategy. Stilty Runners in 7s are going to be fantastic until they die. Because they're going to die. Because they are armor 1. Alright, armor 6+. But still, when they get caught, they're going to die. And the other cool thing about Snotlings, and I love this so much, tier 3 baby, they're going to end up with slightly more skill access, I think, than most other teams. So in 7s you end up normally having 2 or 3 skills per team. Being tier 3 means you're going to end up with kind of 3 or 4 skills, and you may even end up with a double. So you could have a blocking troll. You can go for something like a block or a wrestle Snotling. Probably not the best way to do it, but it's still very entertaining. You know, strong arm troll would be great. The Snotlings are just fantastic. Sneaky Git's going to be great, but the occasional jump up or dauntless is going to do phenomenal work. With the Stilty Runners though, sure feet all day long. Catch is not bad to get them the ball, but you're kind of going to be running around with them. You're going to be sprinting around with them, so sure feet is going to be useful. It's not the most optimal of skills, but what it does do is it saves you that whole I have no rerolls because it's 7s. Boom, you've got that, and that's what they're going to want to be doing with it. Save that reroll for a throw teammate. This is going to be an insanely fun team to play in 7s. It's going to be hell to play against, which is wicked as well, because your opponent's going to line up with basically an 11s team, and you're going to have to fight your way through while they're throwing Snotlings at you and just dodging all the way past you. This is awesome. But you spent those 2 weeks building those 2 pump wagons, so why would you not want to run them? Let's have a look at the max ST build, the max strength. 595 this roster, 2 trolls, 2 pump wagons, 7 Snotlings, and a bribe. So this roster will fall apart, but at the beginning of the game, you are going to have 3 or 4 strength 5 pieces, and the pump wagons are sweet. Having Juggernaut on them means that they are great for blitzing. You've got 9, 10, 11 players on your roster, so you're going to be opening your drive with, let's say you're going to go all in with both pump wagons and the trolls, and 3 Snotlings, and then probably another 2 or 3 Snotlings. This is a horde army on the 7s pitch with 4 strength 5 players. Pump wagons are wicked. Movement 4 is okay. Strength 5 is very okay. They've got Dirty Player +1. They've got Juggernaut. They've got Mighty Blow +1. So they are blitzing with jugs. Okay, they're blitzing with a combat skill. That is happy times. They are really stupid, so you're going to need a couple of spare players to make it work. But that's okay because you have Snotlings, so you've got swarming, so you've got a couple. With this roster, you've got a bribe, so you can bring that pump wagon back. You can bring 1 back. I actually recommend going 2 trolls, 1 pump wagon, Snotlings. We're going to look at a slightly different roster in a second, and the reason for that is actually 3 big guys on a 7s pitch. It's not bad at all, and it's going to mean that you are going to kind of have a bit more oomph in the second half. Skills wise, Pump Wagon. Give one of them Pile Driver. It's going to be awesome. You're going to blitz with it. It's got Juggernaut. It's got Mighty Blow. And if that doesn't work, you can Pile Driver with +1 because you've got Dirty Player +1. And the chances are, guys, you're going to have an extra 1 or 2 Snotlings around as well to get those extra assists. And that means the Pump Wagons are just going to absolutely mince through those players. So here's the roster with a bit of a change. So this is the mixed strength roster. 595 still, 2 Trolls, 1 Pump Wagon, 6 Snotlings, Riotous Rookies, a Bribe, and a Stilty Runner. So basically what happens is you drop a Pump Wagon here, take Riotous Rookies instead, and upgrade a Stilty Runner, upgrade a Snotling to a Stilty Runner. So you end up with those 2 Trolls all the time. You've got 1 Pump Wagon and you've got the Bribe to bring it back. So you've got 2 drives worth of Pump Wagons. You've also got that Riotous Rookies to get you those extra 3, 4, 5 Snotlings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 players plus an extra 4, 5, 6, 7 Snotlings means that you are always going to have swarming, which means you are always going to be activating your Trolls and your Pump Wagon, and you're always going to have supports for cheeky fouls. Dirty Player +1 on the Pump Wagon. It's secret weapon anyway. You're going to have numbers and you are going to have strength. And let's face it, the Pump Wagon is probably the coolest miniature of Blood Bowl. It's just so much fun. And this roster, you get 1 billion players and you get the cool stuff. This is a really fun way to play Snotlings. But one thing you can do is change it up even further. So we've got Troll Pump Mix here, 590k. 1 Troll now, 1 Pump Wagon, 1 Stilty, 1 Hopper. Obviously those are interchangeable. The Hopper having that leap pogo stick advantage versus the Stilty just being able to bomb it down the pitch. It kind of gives you a different angle. 4 Snotlings, but then you've got the reroll, and you've got the Riotous Rookie, and you've got the Bribe. So you lose a Troll, but gain a reroll and a pogo stick player, basically. The whole plan is exactly the same. Now, if you wanted to change it up further, you could just take a second Troll instead of the Pump Wagon. Still have the Riotous Rookie, still have the Bribes, and basically we've got the roster that we looked at the beginning of the show. The cool thing about this is you get basically a bit of everything, with the exception of the Fungus Flinger. But then again, you've got enough cash here to change up a Stilty or a Hopper to be that Fungus Flinger, and then you just go kind of all out with your secret weapons. But if you absolutely love the little guys, there's something else you can do. So we've got the Solo Wagon build here, again 590, maybe. 1 Pump Wagon, 3 Hoppers or Stilties, depending on how you can have up to 2 of each. So you can have 2 of one and 1 of the other, etc. You can just mix it up however you like. I think I prefer the Stilties, but the Hoppers are just, if you're willing to roll those dice, they're pretty good fun. Riotous Rookie, 2 Bribes now, 7 Snotlings and the rerolls. So the advantage of this roster is those Bribes are going to keep that 1 Pump Wagon coming back, and you've got a bunch of Snotling speed. You don't have the legs of the Troll build. This is just for the maniacs out there that love the stunty titchy element of Snotlings. 1 Pump Wagon backed up with a bunch of dudes is going to be great fun. Or you could go full titchy. So the roster that I have, I think appropriately named Snot OK. 600k, 2 Hoppers, 2 Stilties, maximum stunty speed, okay? And then 4 Snotlings, 3 rerolls and Riotous Rookies. So you end up with 8 standard players plus between 3 and 7 other players. So the minimum is 11 and the maximum is whatever, 11 plus 4 is. Okay, 15. So you're going to end up with a ton of guys. The vulnerability of this roster is evidently that there's no strength, but the whole plan with this team is that you've got 8, 9, 10 players on the pitch, and that every one of those players is 3+ or 2+ dodging anywhere. So you can literally just filter through a cage and mob the ball carrier. You can just walk straight through their defensive line and get that touchdown. And don't forget, Stilties are basically movement 9. So that's massively fast. It's going to seem counterintuitive, but I think if I had to pick a roster to play, it would probably be the 2 Troll, 2 Stilty build. 2 Trolls are going to give you a ton of strength. 2 Stilties are going to give you a ton of speed as well. And because you've got enough bench, you don't always have to have both on the pitch. You can save one. You've got a ton of Snotlings. You've got a reroll so that you can pull off that one thing you really need to pull off. And you've got Riotous Rookies, which means you've got all those reinforcements. This is Snotlings on the pitch. Now, instead you could drop a Troll and take a Pump Wagon. And that's fine too. It might be more entertaining that way, but that Pump Wagon is going to go. The Trolls are great. They're armor 10 plus. They've got regeneration. If one of those Trolls gets taken out, it's probably coming back again. The Pump Wagon, not so tough. Armor 9 plus, and where it's got that secret weapon angle as well, it's just gone every drive. And if your team explodes, they're going to score easy. They're going to score when they choose, and that secret weapon is going to be a massive pain for you. I like this roster because I actually think it's going to play well. Trolls are very good. Movement 9 stunty players are really very good. And just a billion Snotlings with swarming, and you've got a reroll here as well. I suppose what you could do if you want is drop the reroll and take a Pump Wagon, but you are one and done with that Pump Wagon. Yeah, alright, that might be fun actually. Anyway, the whole point here is that Snotlings have a huge variety of lists, and they've got some great players. They've got some great angle. And remember, none of these lists, I've even bothered looking at the Flinger. So there's that whole secret weapon angle where it is pump, pump, flinger, flinger, bribe, bribe, bribe. Foul everything, bomb everything, run everything over. You're not going to win a lot of games that way, and you're certainly going to lose friends, but you are going to have a great time. And honestly, I think that's the Snotling way. Don't expect to win, but you're gonna win more than everybody else expects you to. And ooh, that's just awesome. Right guys, I'm gonna wrap up this video now. Let me know what you think of Snotlings in 7s. I am obviously excited. I think this is gonna be great. I think it's gonna be really cool, and I think they're gonna brawl pretty well. And that makes me very happy. I'm gonna disappear. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the show even further, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Or come and join us in our Patreon, link below, where you get early access to our content and monthly competitions. See you later.